Hey everybody, so the Buffalo Sabres beat the Anaheim Ducks 3-1 last night and won their first game. So that leaves Arizona as the last winless team, but I'm not here to talk about Arizona, I'm here to talk about Buffalo. Because, well, Buffalo stinks again. Yeah, this team's not good. They're not deep. They don't have particularly any good star power on the back end, and their goaltending's not great. At least their starting goaltending. I love Chad Johnson. I think he's a fantastic backup. But the problem is he's almost as good as your starter, Robin Lehner. Maybe even is that good. So if you don't have a good starting goalie, you're in trouble from the get-go. Yeah, it seems to never end with Buffalo. It's been years now. Everyone thinks they're going to get better. Before this season, everyone was like, ooh, Buffalo, maybe finally not going to be a bottom feeder, finally going to compete for a playoff spot, finally going to be a decent team, the decent team that they should be given the roster they have in the draft picks they've had over the last few years. And they stink again. I don't know what to think of how to fix this team. It's been a long time now. Remember when they got Ryan O'Reilly? Oh, Buffalo's turning things around. You got Jake McCabe, Rasmus Ristolainen, and guys like that. Oh, that's their defense of the future. They're turning things around. They're gonna be good. Nope. They bring Sam Reinhart and Jack Eichel. Oh, there's some great young talent. They're gonna be good. Nope. Whatever this team does just seems to not work. It's really unbelievable. It's like whatever they do, it doesn't work. That doesn't mean that Eichel's not a fantastic player. I mean, Eichel's absolutely one of the best players in the league, and he's a franchise player. But having him in Buffalo has not yet equated to wins, and that's not necessarily his fault, but it just hasn't. You look at Connor McDavid gets to Edmonton, they almost immediately turn around. Austin Matthews gets to Toronto, they almost immediately turn around. Now, granted, those two have a lot of help, whereas Eichel really doesn't have much for help in Buffalo. But Ryan O'Reilly hasn't been the fantastic superstar forward people thought he was going to be. And Sam Reinhart, oh my God, has he been bad. He's not just this season, his whole young career has just been one big disappointment. He hasn't been nearly the player people thought he was going to be. So Eichel's not getting a lot of help the way that Matthews and McDavid are, but that doesn't. It's still he hasn't led the Sabres to wins yet, and they've got a lot of problems. Goaltending's a huge issue. I'm not a big Robin Lehner fan, and so far this season, Chad Johnson played last night, so he has Buffalo's only win. I like Johnson, but he's a backup. He's always gonna be a backup. I don't like their defense. I think that you look at their defense and it's like, okay. It's like there's no one that's even really that good. It's just like a lot of okay defensemen. And then up front, they've got Eichel and O'Reilly and Reinhart, but they don't have a lot of depth, especially scoring depth. You're not going to get a lot of points from their bottom six, so that's a problem. We've seen a lot of other teams running into this problem already this year, like Montreal and the Rangers. If you don't get scoring from your bottom six, you're in trouble. You can't have two scoring lines and that's it, and that's been the case in the league for a while now. So this team just, year after year, everyone thinks they're going to get better, and they never do. It's really unbelievable. We're going on like 4, 5, 6 years now of Buffalo's finally going to be good. Oh wait, nope, they still stink. And people thought that this was finally going to be the year, even though take that with a grain of salt because they say that every year. But there was some real hope going into this season, and it's only a few games in, and it's already been dashed. One win in the first 5, 6 games is not good. Especially when you look at some other teams that people thought weren't going to be good that are playing well, like Vegas and Dallas and New Jersey in the East. These teams were thought to be, bottom-feeding teams, and they're playing really well. Some other teams that people thought were going to be good aren't playing well, and Buffalo, again, is in the bottom tier of the NHL, and they've got to fix this. Buffalo is too good of a market to have a lousy team at, for year after year after year after year. And I don't think their fan support's going to waver or anything. Buffalo's a big hockey city, but God, it's the NHL will be better with Buffalo competing. Buffalo in the playoffs would be a good thing for the NHL. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. They've got a lot of problems to fix. Jack Eichel is not a savior the way Connor McDavid seems to be a savior in Edmonton. He's just not. He's a tier below McDavid. McDavid's up in the Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin, elite, once-in-a-generation type player. And Eichel's down in that really, really good, great, fantastic, even elite scorer player, but he isn't the franchise-saving, franchise-changing player. He's just an incredibly good hockey player, but he can't do it by himself. So that's it on Buffalo. They got to turn it around at some point, you would think, but just year after year after year, they just stink, and maybe they need major changes. They made major changes this offseason, and so far it hasn't paid off, but maybe if you give the current management group and Phil Housley a few years, maybe they can turn things around. But they got to start with the goaltending. That's their first thing. They need a franchise goaltender, and they need a number one defenseman, because they don't have either of those things. So that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, spread the word. We want the channel to grow. Thank you for watching, and talk to you soon.